Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Monday. This is the Two Old Farts. My name is Chuck.
And I'm Lou. I'm the better looking of the two old farts. See this haircut I got? It's starting to grow out a little bit.
It's not growing out like mine.
I'm older than you are, so mine grows a little slower. It's like me. Slow, but I get there.
And check out the snow white beard I've got going, too, for No Shave November.
That's looking good. I like that.
You do? Why don't you grow one?
Talk to your mom.
Be a man. Do it yourself.
I am. That's why I said talk to your mom. One thing I learned from your Grandpa Charbonneau, yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am. Before we got married, he said, 2 things you need to know. I said, what's that, Grandpa? He said, yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am. So,
okay.
Anyway. So how was your concert yesterday?
It was Iron Maiden, man. It was sold out. It was awesome. I had a lot of friends that were there. My buddy Baldo from down in Laredo, he was up. My friend Dario that I had met from other concerts, he and his wife were there. My friend Al from Germany, like him and his wife were there. So yeah, is Iron Maiden. Everybody shows up for Iron Maiden.
But you get me a t-shirt?
No. You don't even know who Iron Maiden is.
Yeah, I know who they are. I'm just not.
If I played you a song, you wouldn't know who that was them.
You're probably right.
Well, I know I'm right.
But anyway, I saw a couple of your posts look like you were having a good time.
You know I do.
So did you do the meet and greet thing, or you just?
No, they don't do meet and greet, or if they do, it's probably for like record company executives or something. No, this was just a thing for, I guess, fan club members who are part of the Iron Maiden fan club. If they get the Trooper VIP, you get to get in early, merch free shopping. You get merch from them. So I got a bag, a poster, a t-shirt, bottle opener, poster.
What kind of jacket was that? I thought you had like a jacket on or something, or was that a shirt?
That's my battle jacket. That's my vest with my patches.
Oh, okay.
It's called a battle jacket.
So what all do you have on it?
Patches of bands.
All the bands or just Iron Maiden?
All different bands.
Okay. So whenever you go to a concert, you wear your battle jacket?
Yes. Now, on the back, the big picture, that's Iron Maiden. I got that. And then I've got all stacked from the top to the bottom of new wave of British heavy metal bands.
Okay. So how many times have you seen your Iron Maiden? 10 times?
10 times.
Oh, wow. So I guess that's one of your favorite.
Yeah, you could say so.
Well, so tell me about it. Tell me about what all went on and what all the stuff you guys did.
Okay, so once we got checked in, we got our package of stuff. We went upstairs to one of the lounges, had free snacks, like hors d'oeuvres kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
We got tokens for 2 Iron Maiden Trooper beers because they have a partnership with Robinson's Brewery in England, and they make a beer called Trooper and a couple other beers. So they had Trooper beer there. They had places for you to, take photos. And then, you just get to hang out there before the bands start playing. And they had a raffle. I can't remember what the gift was, but I didn't get it. I didn't win. But there's a lot of people. There was probably 14,000 people at the show last night.
All right. What was the show at? Yeah, I forgot what you said.
Frostbank Center, the old AT&T.
Okay. That's a pretty good crowd.
Oh, yeah. And then another one of my favorite bands, the Mongolian metal band, The Who, HU, not The Who from England, but Who from Mongolia.
Right. Like HU, Who?
Yeah, Who. Yeah, they do that Mongolian throat singing. It's really cool. So yeah, I was super excited to see Iron Maiden. I just love them.
So what you got on your next agenda for you?
Besides the trip for you and me this weekend, at the end of the month, I've got tickets to see Wasp. They're doing their first album in its entirety. Now that one, I do have a meet and greet with the singer.
Okay. Well, we got a good trip coming up this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about that one.
Oh yeah, we're flying up to Oklahoma City.
Yep. If we win this one and we beat Auburn, I think our chances are pretty good.
Well, there's a couple of dominoes that have to tumble. Missouri has to beat one of their two teams, I think,
Yeah,
and somebody else has to win. And if that happens, then whoever wins between Texas and A&M, that's the team we will play.
that's going to be yeah. Missouri has Mississippi State and Arkansas. I don't think that's going to have an effect on the standing. But
I predict Arkansas is going to upset Missouri.
Georgia still faced one more tough game. They got Georgia Tech coming up at the end of the season. That could be.
Mm.
Yeah, well, Georgia Tech. Yeah, they've been a spoiler this year.
They have, but for not very good ACC teams. I mean,
and I'm going to tell you what. Georgia beat Tennessee. We beat Georgia, and Tennessee beat us.
So head to head, if it was between us and Tennessee, we would lose.
Yep. Yeah. Tennessee, they're UTEP and Vanderbilt. So Vanderbilt could be a trap. I don't think so. But it looks like we got LSU is out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Ole Miss, they got to play Florida and Mississippi State.
I'm not worried about them beating Mississippi State. Florida, that could be a trap game. Florida looked really good in that second half. Brendan and I watched it. It was a real good game. Very good.
That surprised me. I watched that game too. And, they gave Billy Napier an extension on his contract.
I will defer to you at the beginning of the season. I was calling for Billy Napier's head. You were like, just give it some time. And I didn't agree, but he's got it turned around. I have to admit, he has got that team responding, just like Kalen DeBoer's finally got the offense and the defense responding.
And I think they're both in the same boat. They've been at Florida, what 3 years now, or 2 years? So
3.
His recruiting is his now, where DeBoer inherited somebody else's. But Napier came from a different style of football, if you will. I mean, the Louisiana Monroe?
Conference USA. No, it wasn't Monroe. It was Louisiana Lafayette, which is now just University of Louisiana.
Yeah, and then you jump up into the real Big Ten, and a lot of money, a lot of pressure from alumni and all that kind of stuff. At least have him change his style a little bit. But I'm glad to see him winning.
I am too. It's good to see Florida get back up there because you know what? Ultimately, we have a better product and it's better than the Big Ten. Everybody talks about how many good Big Ten teams there are in the hunt. But when you break down and you look at the teams that Penn State has won against, these are all 50 teams. They're 5-4 or 6-3 at best.
Oh, yeah.
These are not elite teams that they're going up against compared top to bottom in the SEC.
And right now, there's 7 or 8 in the top 25 in the AP and the coaches poll. And last week, I think there was 6 or 7 in the rankings, the college football playoff rankings.
And Saban hit on this Saturday morning. Alabama has played 4 top 25 teams. Now, granted, we've lost to 2 of them, but we've played 4 top 25 teams. Everybody else has played either 2 or 1.
Exactly. This last couple weeks
in Georgia, they've lost one of their 2 because one of was to Texas.
Yes. Now Texas, I think, is going to be the other team that will be in the SEC championship. It's going to be I don't think we can get into it, but I got the fingers crossed. I think Ole Miss will beat us out. But
what, in the SEC championship? I think we're ahead of Ole Miss.
Do what?
I think we are ahead of Ole Miss in getting into the SEC championship.
No, I mean, let's it out here real quick, but it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, Texas is 1, A&M is 2nd, Georgia, Tennessee, then we're as of right now in the SEC ranking. So A&M's got to play Texas, so they're 5-1. That'll put them in 5-2 because I don't think they'll beat them. And we got Oklahoma and Auburn. We'll beat those two, so we'll be 6-2. Tennessee, they'll beat Vanderbilt. There's no more conference games for them. So
let's see. So Texas has to.
Well, Texas, they got to play Kentucky and A&M, so there's 2 more SEC games for them.
So yeah, the Volunteers, they're 8-1, 5-1 in the SEC. The Aggies are 7-2 and 5-1 in the SEC. The Longhorns are third at 9-1 with 5-1 in the SEC. The Bulldogs 7-2 with 5-2 in the SEC. Ole Miss, their record is 8-2. Their SEC record is 4-2. Ours is 7-2 with 4-2 in the SEC. So
we're 8-2 and 4-2 with the.
What week is this? Oh yeah, this is a week behind.
Yeah. So A&M's got to play Texas and Auburn. So yeah, Auburn looked pretty good this weekend too. So there's a lot to fall in place before the season.
So here's what happens. If we win out, we need Missouri to win one of 2 games. They need to either beat Mississippi State or Arkansas. If Missouri wins both, we'll have the advantage over Georgia, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, and either the A&M or Texas based on conference opponent win percentage.
Right. And Missouri can. They lost South Carolina this weekend, but that was pretty close games. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway,
I'd kind of rather not even go to the SEC championship game and just take our chances.
I'm almost inclined to agree with you and take that week and build a little bit and get some of these guys healthy a little bit, But
I don't want to go against Texas.
You know what? I think we could beat Texas if we continue to play like we have in the last couple of weeks. Even though we've got a couple injuries, we've got a couple players, we got 1 player out for the rest of the year from the start. But I was really impressed with what I saw. I know we played Mercer, and they were 9-1.
They're FCS, and it showed.
But I like our chances. We'll have to wait and see. Oregon almost lost theirs Saturday too. They had to come behind to win. So it's
tough. It's tough to be excellent for an entire season. It really is.
Yes, it is. It takes a toll on those players, especially now that we're playing more than 8 or 10 games a year. When you start playing 12 games, football is a really physical game. And it's also a very mental game.
And then you add on a conference championship game. That's 1 more than your regular season. And then now you add on all of those playoff games.
Yes. It's going to be interesting to see where we fall out tomorrow when the rankings.
Is it today or tomorrow?
I think it's Tuesday. I'm not sure.
Is it today or tomorrow? Let me see if I can find it.
It's going to be Tuesday because they got the FCS coaches poll. Then
we moved up to 9th like I thought we would. This is the seedings by the CFP. We're 9.
In which poll?
The college football playoff.
Okay. That was last week.
You sure?
Yeah. Because we're 7th this week.
This article says it was from 9 hours ago.
They haven't had it. They won't do it until tomorrow. Right now, we're number 7 in the AP top 25 and number 7 in the coaches poll. They don't show last week's rankings.
Who knows? It's all so subjective. Yeah. It really is. It's all opinion based anyway.
It makes it fun. It's a good conversation. There's 2 teams that I really like. When I get a chance on TV, I watch them. That's North Dakota State and South Dakota State. I don't know why. I just love watching those 2 teams play football. North Dakota State, they're 10-1, and South Dakota State, 8-2. They lost to North Dakota State, if I'm not mistaken, in the FCS coaches polls. And UIW is number 6 in that poll. So
Texas State won this weekend. I think they're bowl eligible now.
Yes, they are. It's just a matter of see which one they're going to go to. And then in the FCS ratings, they dropped out of that. I don't know where they're at now.
Let me see the bowl projections. And this is after week 13. I'm not going to look at the Rudy Poop bowls. Some of these names are just horrible names. There's a Detroit Bowl game, a Birmingham Bowl, Armed Forces Bowl. That's supposed to be Wisconsin versus West Virginia. Liberty is TCU and Vandy.
And Wisconsin just fired their offensive coordinator this weekend.
They what?
They fired their offensive coordinator yesterday.
The Vegas Bowl is A&M in Washington. The Fenway Bowl, Virginia Tech and Tulane. Holiday Bowl, Clemson, Arizona State. The New Mexico Bowl is North Texas and Texas State. Did you know there's a Pop-Tarts Bowl?
Yeah.
BYU and SMU. The Alamo Bowl right now, they're projecting Iowa State and Washington State. Music City, LSU, Minnesota. Independence, Cincy versus Army. The Texas Bowl, Arkansas, Kansas State. The Tony the Tiger Bowl, Syracuse and USC. The Citrus Bowl, Tennessee, Illinois. Gator Bowl, Missouri, Duke. The Mayo Bowl, Nebraska and Louisville. The Bahamas Bowl, NIU and Sam Houston. So 24/7 Sports, they have Alabama as the number 11 team in the CFP. They've got Georgia at number 10 and Ole Miss at number 8.
I can see that. Georgia, they played Clemson.
So now they've in those rankings, they've got Boise State versus Oregon, Alabama versus Notre Dame. Oh, I love that matchup. Georgia at Indiana and Penn State at Ole Miss.
Who they got us mashed up again?
Boise State, Oregon, Alabama, Notre Dame, Georgia, Indiana, and Penn State, Ole Miss. That looks like a SEC route right there.
Yeah. I'd like to see us wrap up Notre Dame again, too. Knock on that door a little bit more, since they stole something from us a few years ago.
And then in the quarterfinals, it looks like they've got Oregon, Colorado, Alabama versus Miami, Georgia versus Texas, and Ole Miss versus Ohio State. I think Ole Miss has got a good shot at beating Ohio State.
I would agree with you. I like the way they've been playing ball, right? And watching Coach this year, he seems to mellowed out a little bit on his sideline antics, if you will. And I think the players are buying into that as well. And I'll go back to LSU with Brian Kelly.
24/7 Sports has got us going the whole way, Dad. Their projections, like I told you, we're in those first games. What do they call them? The first round, and then they got us in the quarterfinals. So the quarterfinals are Oregon, Colorado, Alabama, Miami, Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, Ohio State, and then out of those they've got Alabama and Georgia playing each other. So they're saying Georgia wins and Alabama wins. And they're saying Oregon and Ohio State win. So they've got us playing Ohio State at the end of the season for the whole thing.
Well, I hope they're right. We'll see.
I hope so too, but that's a lot of football. That does not have us playing in the CFP. Or not the CFP. That does not have us playing in the SEC championship.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, take away Saturday's game, but if we go back to the last two games the way we played, and we can continue that momentum, and I like what the players are saying. They're talking about teamwork, and I saw a couple things there. I didn't read the articles, but they're talking about their mindset as being old-time Alabama football, talking about defense and stuff like that. Yeah. Because defense wins championships.
And defense travels.
Yeah. So we'll see. One thing's for sure, though. Finally found this. I printed another copy, so when I go park that car, I won't be paying full price this time at the airport. Like last time, I couldn't find it, so I had to pay full price at the parking.
Make sure you put it in the car.
As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going to go put it in the car. Actually, I got one in the car already, but I printed another copy just to be on the safe side. Because last time, and the guy was pretty nice. Give me a little time. I just couldn't find it. So I'm going to put it right on top where it'll be there where I can see it.
Well, this is probably a good jumping off point to wrap it up so we don't ramble on.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out and happy birthday to your Aunt Terry. I know Leonard's not listening, but we sent her a little email with a little song on it and stuff like that. And Uncle Leonard said they really loved it, and it had a little song. He said it pretty good till he got up off the couch and started trying to dance, and it was all downhill from there.
Oh, I can imagine.
So anyway,
all righty, you be good. I will see you Friday at the airport.
see you Friday at the airport. Be good.
You too. All right, everybody, y'all take care.
Love y'all.
All right. Love
Bye.
you. Love you, Dad.
Love you too, son. Be good.